the dark, and then we'll go.
We'll never surrender.
Skin boots on a Saturday night.
Hello guys, this is the Gaming Revolution here and welcome back to an all new Black Ops 3 Zombies video. Now today we're going to be going over some elite DLC perks that we've had for quite some time now. I know I've made this video multiple times as each DLC has progressed, but we've still been yet to see any of these perks. Now this video is a pre-recorded video at the time you're watching this. I am currently on holiday for 2 weeks in Portugal, so if you're wondering why I've not been staying up to date with news, if any new Easter eggs have been found, and if you're wondering why I've not been covering them, that is indeed why. But I will have a ton of pre-recorded videos that will be going live whilst I'm gone, so you don't miss out on content. Now as I said, we're going to be going over some leaked DLC perks today. Now if you do go on to enjoy this video, by the end of it make sure to drop a like down below, as well as subscribe to the channel so you never miss a future upload here on the channel. Now we've only got one DLC left now, which is obviously DLC 4 Revelations, and we've still yet to see any DLC perks introduced into Black Ops 3 Zombies. Not a single DLC has featured any new perks as of yet. Obviously we had Widow's Wine that was introduced within Shadows of Evil, and that is crossplay throughout all the DLC maps, and obviously Electric Cherry has been brought back as well. Now these DLC perks that I'm about to discuss, they're only possible DLC perks because they were found within the code quite a while back now, and we've still not seen the introduction of these perks. So if you remember back to a few months before Black Ops 3 was released, we had the Black Ops 3 multiplayer beta, and when this beta came out on PC, a load of data miners went into the code and they leaked an absolutely ton of stuff in regards to Black Ops 3 Zombies. Now these included such things as perk jingles, main menu music, just a crazy amount of stuff. Well, these data miners did in fact find a load of code in regards to the perks that were going to be on Shadows of Evil, but they found code for some other perks as well. That being an unknown perk known as Liquidity, PhD Flopper, Who's Who, Vulture Aid, and also Tombstone. Now in my personal opinion, I feel like we're finally going to get a new DLC perk within DLC 4, just because we've never seen one throughout the DLC season for Black Ops 3 Zombies as of yet. I feel like they may do something like they did similar to Moon for Black Ops 1, where they'll add a perk to DLC 4 and then it'll be introduced to all of the previous maps as well. But that's just my own personal opinion. Now as he said, within the code there was code in relation to an unknown perk known as Liquidity. Now Liquidity could just be the code name for this perk, but what could it mean? Well, there's a few different reasons of what it could mean. One being it could have something in relation to do with money, like cheapening prices or something, or some other form of money or currency. It could also have something to do with liquid divinium, but most people think that it has something to do with a liquid substance like water or something like that, so I'm not sure what the ability of this would be. Maybe it would work similar to Widow's Wine, where it would sort of liquidate the zombies around you if you get crowded or hit, and maybe it would only activate it, you know, it'd have like a recharge rate or something like that. Now as he said, this was found within the code absolutely ages ago, and we've still not seen it introduced within either DLC 1, DLC 2, or DLC 3, so it's more than probable that this perk may have been scrapped from the game. Treyarch planned on adding this perk either, you know, alongside the game's release with Shadows of Evil and or The Giant, or they planned on adding it within one of the DLCs, but they could have quite possibly scrapped this perk somewhere along the lines. Leave your thoughts down in the comment section down below. Do you think we will see this perk introduced within DLC 4, or do you think Treyarch have scrapped this perk from its existence? I think if there's a time to see Liquidity introduced, as I said, this could just be the code name for the perk. It could have a completely different name, but that could just be the code name, but it would be in relation to its name. I think if we were to see this perk introduced, I think DLC 4 Revelations would be the best time to do so, because we're still yet to see a perk. Obviously we've seen all of these Gobblegums introduced, and I think that's been the alternative to adding new perks onto the map. Now as I said, the other perks that were found within the code were PhD Flopper, Who's Who, Vulture Aid, and Tombstone. Now I definitely think that these are more than probable leftover code from the previous Call of Duty Zombies titles, and this is because of some evidence that we have from Zetsubo no Shima, because within the Zetsubo no Shima code we found that originally PhD Flopper and also Tombstone were originally going to be on Zetsubo no Shima, but they decided to scrap them from the full release of the map. I think the reason why they've scrapped PhD Flopper is obviously the Dolphin Diver is not available within Black Ops 3, so they would have to change it to something like PhD Slider, slider, and if you didn't know, there's been a new Gobblegum introduced within DLC 3, which is essentially just like PhD Slider. I think it's called Slaughter Slider, and when you slide, a load of like grenades and explosives will fly around you, so essentially it's the equivalent of a PhD Slider. And also we have the Danger Closest Gobblegum as well. So I think the reason why we haven't seen PhD Flopper introduced at all within the DLC, and I don't think we're going to see it with DLC 4, is because we've had alternatives for them as Gobblegums. Maybe the code that was found within the beta was just code for these Gobblegums that they originally had. Now in terms of Tombstone, as I said, this was also found within the code, so a lot of people thought that it could have been a perk that could have been introduced within the future. However, again within Zetsubo no Shima, it was found within the code that Tombstone was originally planned on being in the map, but what I think happened is that Treyarch scrapped the idea of bringing back Tombstone, and instead they swapped this out instead for the clone plans, because obviously we have the clone plans on Zetsubo no Shima, and they allow you to clone yourself so that you can come back after death and you will keep all of your perks. It's a really cool idea that they've introduced, and I think that's the reason why they didn't bring back Tombstone, because they came up with this alternative idea. Now within the code, Who's Who and also Vulturade were found within the code. Now there was some speculation prior to Zetsubo's release that we would be seeing Vulturade return. There was some really far-fetched speculation regarding that, but I don't think we're going to be seeing Vulturade or Who's Who return. I know it was found within the code, but again, I just think this is leftover code from Black Ops 2. I feel like at some point prior to the release of Black Ops 3 Zombies, Treyarch planned on bringing a lot of perks back from previous Call of Duty titles, because obviously we've seen the Wonder Fizz within Der Eisendrache and also within Gerard Krovium. Maybe they planned on adding them within there, but they probably couldn't find a way to balance it with Perkaholic, because if we had all these perks within the Wonder Fizz and we managed to get all these perks with Perkaholic, it would be very overpowered. I don't think we will be seeing any perks returning within DLC 4, although they were found within the code. I think Liquidity is certainly the best possibility out of all of these perks, as it is a brand new perk that we've never heard of before, and we've never seen this code name before within the game either. But even then, this has been in the code prior to launch, and we've still not seen it within any of the DLC maps, so it's, it's a heavy debate whether it has been scrapped by now. I really hope that Treyarch add Liquidity within DLC 4. I think we're probably going to see a new perk finally. If we don't see a new perk, I'm just going to be extremely annoyed. But you can let me know down in the comment section down below, do you think that all these codes for these perks are just scrapped perks and, they're not going to add them, all leftover code from previous Call of Duty titles, or do you think we may see them in the future? But anyways, thanks for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe if you know how to hear the latest and greatest Black Ops 3 Zombies news information. So anyways, thank you for watching, and bye. Are you guys interested in getting free Call of Duty points for free supply drops and Liquid Divinium and or DLC as well? Well, have I got news for you. There's going to be a link in this video's description where you can download a 100% free app. Upon downloading this app, you can then install it, and then you can download apps via this app. Via downloading the app, as well as sharing the app with your friends via your referral code, you will very quickly build up a ton of points, of which you can then purchase Xbox Live, PSN or Steam cards, which can then be used to get 100% free COD points as well as DLC. Hopefully this helps.
Is that a good thing?